Interested in design validation views, huh? Well, that's fantastic. We're going to take a look at that right now. In Revit over here, what I'm going to do is go take a look at some of the floor plans that are actually built around the concept of design validation. So if I go to the mechanical plans, I've got some analytical views sitting right here. And in my floor plans, underneath the analytical, I've got some energy plans. If I open up one of these plans, when you're in the process mechanically, HVAC-wise, of going through, placing all of your spaces, doing zone compilation, so you're putting your zones together, these views here are automatically being built up. I've got a view here on level 1 right away, got level 2, I've got the roof plan as well as I need it, and if I had a multi-level building, I could have these views all the way up. We include 9 interior levels and the roof level, as maybe you've seen in some of our other demonstrations. Over here, there's an automatic legend that just is there. It's a byproduct of the data in Revit. It's already built up, and as you're zoning these individual spaces, it automatically colorizes and will give you those individual zone plans. So you can very quickly see if you've missed something. If I click on this zone right here, of course, it's going to give me the information. So I can run whatever design calculations I need, whether I'm using the built-in Revit ones or some external tool. But I have the ability really quickly to see, did I miss any spaces? Are any of these spaces not color filled in like they're a part of a zone? Similarly over here, I've got, after I've started doing some design, I've got some flow analysis. So I can go over here to my level 1 flow diagram, and in here I've got just a quick flow, no flow. This also exists, by the way, for the hydronic side, the plumbing side. You've got a lot of these flow, no flow type views, so you can look through here and go really quickly and say, you know what, we've got a problem here. These diffusers, for whatever reason, or these air terminals, they're not hooked up to the ductwork, or something's wrong. Maybe it's the wrong family, maybe whatever, right? But if they have flow, when I connect this up, you'll see that red duct right there will change to blue once it's actually receiving information from the air terminal. This helps you really quickly at a glance across your project look and go, where do I have problems? Where am I not getting proper airflow? So that when I click on the main duct, can I actually assume that the numbers that it's giving me for total flow is correct, or is it not correct? Right? Without these types of views, you really don't know. If somebody accidentally disconnects some duct, or you reload an architect's project and you have some diffusers attached to a ceiling accidentally, and the ceiling moved and it now destroys your ductwork, you'd never know. You don't know where that problem actually exists. Well, here, it's blatant. It's clear as day because you've got the red versus the blue. If you don't like the colors, by the way, you can always go up to our color scheme here. If you don't like the red and blue colors, you have difficulty seeing them, that's fine. Change the colors, but the view already pre-exists, ready for you to use it. Similarly, here we've got things like velocity diagrams inside of here. Friction diagrams as well. But in this case, the velocity diagram, just looking across my plan, I can see, is anything in the red or that dark red right there, is it outside of my design range? Now, is Revit giving you exact, very explicit calculations that are 100% spot on? No, not necessarily. First, I have to make sure that I've got the right ductwork all connected up, and then I'm getting airflows back here in my flow diagram. But once I've got that, it's getting close. It's ballparking me. And that's what I'm looking for. I want to be in the right neighborhood. If I see something way out here in the reds and dark reds, or even in the oranges sometimes, depending on where I am in the building, I might be concerned about that, and I might focus more on that design area. Whereas in this case, I've got a lot of this ductwork out here on the left side of my building, actually most of it throughout my entire building, that's in this gray area. It's less than 600 feet per minute. That's relatively slow-moving air in that case. It's going to be relatively quiet, comfortable for the people occupying spaces. I'm good there. But I can see that really quickly at a glance using these diagram views. And these are all included in the template in the starter project file. So when you kick a project off and you start doing your design, you can go visit any one of these floor plan views and they'll just be there waiting for you. So you don't have to worry about building them up from scratch. Now additionally, let's go up here and take a look at some of the working views. When I'm in electrical working day in, day out, I might want to get some feedback about some of the information here. And I've got little note here to show you what's going on. We have some color representations in the working view that's already pre-built in based on that working view template, that when you've got componentry in here that has an electrical connector, but it's not circuited, it'll tell you that. The red there means it's not circuited. The magenta means that it's a part of a circuit, but it's not associated to a panel board. The green means you're good to go, right? Green is good. You're all good to go there. Now, if you can't see, again, these colors, you don't like them, you can change our filters for the color scheming, but you know that you have those different colors available, so you can go through and work with this content. Now, let me give you an example here. I'm going to make sure I've got the right work set available. Let me go change to ePower, so I'm on the right work set. I'm going to take this component in Revit, and it's already circuited. I don't know what circuit it's on, but it's on some circuit and it's associated to a panel. Now, end users in Revit, a lot of times what I'll see is people will copy something. They'll copy an outlet someplace in the model or take one and make a new one based on it, and they don't necessarily realize that that new outlet did not add to the circuit of the original outlet. You see, Revit's not AutoCAD, right? It's not going to copy all of the parameter values necessarily. Well, it's going to copy the properties and the parameter values, but that attribute or that setting that says I was a part of such and such a panel, Revit doesn't know that yet. So what I have to do is, take this particular component here and say, you know what, I wanted you all to be in the same circuit, so let's edit this circuit, add this component to it, and when I finish that, it'll immediately turn green. Now this isn't dependent on our content, this is a view setting. So, if I take this guy over here, well actually let's take this one here and say let's create a power system. 120 volt power system for that particular outlet right there. So now that it's got that power system, you can see it's turned magenta. And if I take that and I say let's go ahead and associate you to some panel out there in the project, when I make that association, it immediately turns green. Any piece of equipment out here that has a power connector will play the exact same way. You can see over here I've got some VAV boxes that have fans inside of them. Well, they require connections. This guy is circuited, but it's not associated to a panel board yet. So if I come back to my electrical circuits and I say, yeah, you're going to go ahead and associate to whatever panel board is appropriate for your voltage system, and it'll go ahead and turn green there for me. Same thing with this red one right here. Let's create a power system, and the way that Revit works now, by default, it'll try to automatically associate it to a panel, but it couldn't because that particular panel now is full. So I can choose a different panel that may not be full. Let's see. That one's already full as well. Let's pick another one. There we go. So when I pick that panel, you can see now this guy here, this is turned green as well. So it's ready to go. So you can see throughout this project, it's very quick. Just look across the plan. If you see any red, something's up, something's not circuited. So I can focus on circuiting those elements very quickly, making sure that I'm getting proper load analysis on the panels themselves so that I'm not missing anything. It's real easy to miss something if you don't have views like this that are all set up. All right, hopefully that makes sense to you and you're liking what you're seeing here. Maybe you can go take a look at some of our other videos. Now, we just finished talking about electrical, so maybe you want to see something about our electrical one-lines or our electrical panel schedules. Go take a look. Click the links in this tab here and see if you can find some other portions of the MEP Productivity Pack that you find interesting. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you in some of our other demos.